Panorama Antenna non è un'azienda nata da poco, del 47, dal 1947, quindi 75 anni, non più 74, siamo fermi al 2021. È uno dei principali costruttori di antenne in Europa, antenne professionali, è una società di proprietà familiare da 3 generazioni ed è in UK con subsidiari in varie parti del mondo. Quali sono i mercati principali che segue Panorama? Come vedete, sono tutte applicazioni altamente professionali, quindi pubblica sicurezza, quindi anche su tutte quelle che sono le tecnologie specifiche per queste applicazioni, quindi mobile radio, tetra e tutte queste cose, smart energy, smart home, molto importante tutta la parte su treni, bus, eccetera, che sono antenne che hanno delle caratteristiche estremamente particolari, delle necessità importanti. E poi anche tutto quello che è antenne indoor, outdoor per building e chi più ne ha più ne metta. Questo è il titolo che abbiamo scelto. Evidentemente l'antenna è sempre un punto, una parte estremamente importante. Una cattiva antenna può distruggere un'applicazione estremamente complessa. Quindi certamente non possiamo trascurare quelle che sono le caratteristiche dell'antenna. 2 parole riguardo a cosa dobbiamo guardare quando vogliamo scegliere l'antenna giusta. Ovviamente la frequenza, ovviamente l'applicazione, che tipo di antenna. SISO MIMO sta per single input o single output, quindi una singola antenna per una singola comunicazione. MIMO, multiple input, multiple output, quindi antenne che hanno hanno cellulare, GPS, wifi, più di un router cellulare nella stessa antenna, quindi un'unica antenna con anche, arriviamo fino a 9 tipi di connessioni radio sulla singola antenna. Protezione dell'antenna, quindi è soggetta a scariche. Le antenne che ad esempio vengono montate sui tetti dei treni sono in un ambiente estremamente complicato. Che tipo di installazione? Adesso non voglio entrare nei dettagli, però è chiaro che quando si sceglie un'antenna ci possono essere molti aspetti da valutare, quindi i tipi di cavo, i tipi di connettore. Questi sono i cavi che utilizza Panorama, che spesso sono un aspetto importante, nel senso che non possiamo avere un'ottima antenna e perdere tutto il segnale sul cavo, quindi cavi estremamente solidi, coassiali, e in funzione della lunghezza del segnale si sceglie poi il tipo di cavo. Brevissima descrizione di cos'è un'antenna: ground plane, il piano di massa, il cavo coassiale, la base di montaggio e l'elemento radiante. Quindi tutti questi sono aspetti che dobbiamo considerare quando scegliamo un'antenna. L'antenna ovviamente dipende dalla frequenza. Tanto più la frequenza è corta, tanto più l'antenna può essere miniaturizzata, però ci sono ovviamente se noi facciamo il quarto d'onda a 150 MHz, abbiamo delle antenne da mezzo metro, ma ci sono anche tecnologie per avere antenne estremamente compatte anche a frequenze basse. Il piano di massa: in alcuni casi dobbiamo avere un piano di massa, ma abbiamo delle antenne che possono evitare il piano di massa. Questi vuole essere semplicemente una panoramica di tutti gli aspetti che dobbiamo valutare per la scelta di un'antenna, e abbiamo antenne anche che sono indipendenti dal piano di massa, quindi anche in questo caso, quando abbiamo delle applicazioni importanti, dobbiamo capire se c'è la necessità, e comunque tutte queste necessità sono sempre indicate nei datasheet e nei documenti tecnici relativi all'installazione. Qui è quello che dicevo prima, un aspetto molto, molto importante, quindi single antenna system, un solo ingresso, una sola uscita, e questo può, diciamo, ha delle prestazioni che però possono essere limitanti. Quando abbiamo due antenne con due ingressi differenti, sfruttiamo quello che è il diversity, quelli che sono i diversi path di propagazione dei segnali radio, e che possono dare delle prestazioni estremamente migliori. Ok, now it's your turn, Pia. I finished the part in Italian, and Pia will continue to tell us about the value proposition of the panorama antenna with all the details.
Okay. Grazie mille. That's pretty much the only thing I can say in Italian. It's like I understood everything you said, and it makes me a little bit angry because I cannot speak Italian, but I do understand it because it's quite close to Spanish. So yeah, I think I should just take some Italian lessons and we fix the problem. But right now we have to continue in English. So just to remind that this webinar is about understanding the value of the antenna, and it's even more important nowadays because we have so many applications. Antennas are much more complicating systems than they were 75 years ago when we started. So nowadays we cover a wide range of technologies, applications that can be from mobile to IoT, like we are seeing in the picture. They can be IoT applications for ticket vending machines, it can be billboards, it can be electric charging stations, but also for in-building, that is any kind of stations, shopping malls, hotels, airports. We have really a wide range of technologies for several applications available. Change, please. Thanks. Not only we want to make affordable antennas when it comes to the cost, but we also want to reduce the installation costs. That means we provide easy install package of each antenna. Only thing the customer needs to say to us is the radio or the router model you are going to connect the antenna. So we can provide the complete kit with the extension cables and connectors, and only thing you need to do is to connect it. And the installation instructions always come with the antenna. And it's also it also minimizes installation costs to provide a multiband antenna. So that's you are seeing in the picture the GPSB antenna with external whip for Tetra for the police application. So that means you only need to make one hole in the vehicle to connect 4 different functions in the same antenna. You don't need to install separately one antenna for public safety, one for cellular, one for Wi-Fi, and one for GPS. This antenna includes all these 4 functions, and we are going to see it in the next slide. So this is very good example of the multifunction antenna. It has 4 different elements inside the same antenna cover. So you have the whip that can be VHF, UHF, or for 700 or 800 band, or it can be 3-band whip that includes all of these functions. Then you can connect this whip to one radio or up to 3 radios, and each of these radios can be single band, dual band, or tri-band. What happens if you connect more than one radio? In that case, you would have to add a duplexer. And the other functions in this antenna, in the antenna base, there is cellular elements, Wi-Fi elements, and GPS elements. So you have 4 different technologies in the same antenna. Next one, please. And like again, we need to move forward as the routers develop. They have more MIMO functions. Technology is moving forward to 5G. So we have also updated this GPS model to be now a MIMO model. So this is the shark key, but with double element cellular and option to up to 4x4 MIMO Wi-Fi. And with the same idea that you can connect external Tetra or VHF whip to the same antenna. And it's updated to 5G, which means it covers all the cellular frequencies from 600 up to 6,000 megahertz. And it's that covers worldwide 5G bands. In Europe, you wouldn't need to have more than 3.8 for 5G, but this antenna is made to be perfectly well for the use worldwide. It is IP69 certified, which means it has full IP rating, and it also has the UN R118 cables, which makes it perfectly fine for use in bus applications, for example. You would need to always make sure you are using an antenna with the R118 compliant cables if it's for bus. And this antenna also, it can be used on metallic or non-metallic surface. So that means you don't need ground plane. You don't need to worry about that. It can be used on a bus, for example, that has fiberglass roof, or it can be used on a metal roof of the vehicle equally well. Next, please. Then our fixed site antenna range, that is also updated to 5G. We are seeing on the first line the LPB antenna range, that it's basically the first 3 models are the same antenna but with different mounting options. The first one would be directly mounted on a panel. The second one would be bracket mounted or wall mounted, and the third one is supplied on a magnetic base. When you cannot make holes in the vehicle or anywhere you intend to install it, it can be supplied on a magnetic base. Then we have the PWB range, which is the paddle antenna directly to be mounted on the router. And on the bottom line, we're seeing the fixed site antennas, that the first one is directional MIMO antenna with peak gain of 9 dBi. It's more used for, it can be for external and internal applications, but more for like branch projects or anywhere where you would need a very high gain directional antenna. And the second, the CMM and CMSLP are for in-building DAS projects. So it can be for hotels, airports, stations. It's ceiling mounted, and they have PIM certification. So they are very specific antennas in that case. All of them cover the 5G range worldwide. That means 600 to 6,000. Then probably one of the most popular IoT antennas we have. This is the MIMO 2x2 antenna that covers the frequency range from 700 to 3.8. Like I mentioned before, the 3.8 is perfectly valid for 5G in Europe. So this is a very economical antenna that can be mounted, for example, on ticket vending machines, like it has been used in Helsinki public transport. Just to give you an example, it's IP66 rated, which makes it perfectly well for external applications like they did in Helsinki. And this antenna has been mounted on the Helsinki public transport ticket machines all over the city, and they are both inside and outside of the terminals, the stations. So it has been very successful. And like you know, in Helsinki, the weather conditions can be a little bit hard. So it has been perfect antenna for them. It's very robust for any kind of M2M and IoT. It comes with integrated 3-meter cables ending with SMA. So you don't even need extension cables in many cases. It directly comes with the integrated cables. Then portable omnidirectional antenna. It has this one covers from 600 to 6,000. It can be desk, window, or wall mounted, and it comes with 2-meter integrated cables. It's pretty much a portable option. It's when you need something more robust or need more gain, then you have to go for the directional antenna. But this is mainly for the office use. It can be supplied with SMA or TS9 connectors. We have both versions available. Then talking about the directional antennas, we have a brand new 4x4 MIMO external antenna. It's very robust, very high gain. It's perfect for enterprise and branch solutions when you need a very high gain antenna. It also has integrated GPS for failover applications. So it comes with the mast or wall mount brackets, and it's one of our latest range for the fixed site antennas covering the worldwide 5G frequencies. Then for vehicle 5G antenna range, our Great White range, which has been the most popular for bus applications, has been updated to 5G now as well. So it's not even only Great White anymore. Now it's the Great Black. We have both options, and it has 2x2 cellular elements, and it has an option to up to 6 Wi-Fi elements, and of course with or without GPS. It's also ground plane independent, like the Sharky antenna we saw earlier. So it's perfectly valid for installation on metallic or non-metallic roof of the vehicle. Also, it's IP69 and IK10 rated, so it has maximum rating in all the water ingress and impact protection. And also it has cables that are compliant to 118 normative for the bus applications. These type of vehicle antennas come only with a little pigtail, like we call it. It's a 30 centimeter cable where we attach the extension cable. So you can specify if you need 3 meters, 5 meters, 10 meters, and we will add those cables and with the connectors you need, depending on the router model you are using, and send you the complete package. The same antenna, almost the same antenna, but on 4x4 version, meaning that you have 4 cellular elements up to 6 Wi-Fi elements and 1 GPS in the same antenna cover. Of course, this doesn't mean you need to have all of these 9 functions in one. If you don't need Wi-Fi at all, if you only need 4 cellular ones, you can order only that version. If you don't need GPS at all, you can only order the cellular version. And it has so many different variations that to choose from. So basically, yes, it has the same characteristics than the previous antenna, the 2x2, only that we have increased the cellular elements in this antenna. Then, if you cannot make holes in the vehicle, especially in some buses, they are looking for a perfectly certified antenna for bus applications, but where you cannot make any holes. In that case, our dash mount MIMO antenna, we call it BAT, well, you can see why. This is the perfect option. And it has also the cable certified as the previous great white antennas. It has 2 cellular elements and option of 2 Wi-Fi elements, and with or without GPS in the same antenna. It can be mounted on top of the dashboard or under the dashboard. It will work equally well. And then our railway antenna range. First, it is something different compared to the bus antennas, that this antenna has N connector on the base for the cellular elements, and it has TNC connector for GPS. Also, it is a little bit different because it has one wideband element that covers cellular and Wi-Fi frequencies. So it doesn't have separate elements there. It doesn't have separate connectors for cellular and Wi-Fi. They are combined. And this is fully railway industry certified antenna. You cannot use any kind of antenna on the previous we have seen, even if they're a little bit cheaper, even if you like it more. No, it needs to be fully railway certified. If you're using it on metro, light rail, any kind of rail application, it needs to be certified. So this uses the industry standard 4-hole fixing, so it doesn't matter what antenna, rail antenna you have been using before, this will fit the same 4-hole fixing. And it has also option of with or without GPS. Now I wanted to mention that we have this same antenna also in SISO, and if you don't need MIMO function, we have the SISO version, and we will be launching within 1 month also 4x4 cellular railway certified antenna. So in case you know any railway opportunities requiring 4x4 cellular function, then just be aware that we will have that available within a month. And that's everything about the technical antenna part. So I will give the lead back to Sergio. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Pia. Visto che Pia capisce bene l'italiano, possiamo proseguire in italiano.
Sì.
Due commenti finali. Beh, la prima cosa, se qualcuno di voi ha qualche domanda, può scriverlo sulla chat e noi saremo felici di rispondere. Naturalmente poi avete i nostri contatti e potete dare potete scriverci per qualsiasi richiesta, eccetera. Volevo solo fare un commento. Naturalmente abbiamo presentato le antenne più prestazionali, quelle più complesse, ma il catalogo è pieno di antenne anche estremamente semplici. Diciamo che l'ultimo commento che faccio prima di salutarvi è non trascurate l'antenna. Spesso con pochi euro in più si può avere un'antenna che migliora considerevolmente le prestazioni dell'apparato. Le antennine che attaccate ai router, eccetera, spesso vanno molto bene, ma in alcuni casi è sicuramente molto molto importante fare una valutazione dell'antenna e capire se con una installazione spesso semplice e un costo estremamente limitato rispetto a tutto il costo e al valore della soluzione che sta dietro quell'antenna vi può dare delle prestazioni aggiuntive. Non vedo delle richieste di chiarimenti aggiuntive. Siamo arrivati alle 11:30 e quindi saluto tutti, grazie ai partecipanti e grazie a Pia che ci ha presentato e ci ha dato il suo tempo. Arrivederci.
Thank you. Bye bye.